Hello everyone and welcome to a little bit of a different video today, where we're kind of doing correlated stuff, but we're not looking at the game, kind of, we're not playing the game. Instead, we're going to be looking back at old CEW pay-per-views, and I have a little tier list, and we're going to be ranking every single Season 2 pay-per-view there's ever been. Let's just get into it. So, let's start off with the Retro Rumble, the first ever Season 2 pay-per-view. Not a lot of matches I can remember, although watch me just remember all of them. So there was the 2 Retro Rumble matches, Braxton versus Byron for the world's title, which was a banger. There was Sky, Natalie Bannon and Elizabeth Baker for the women's title. There was Madison Ace, Trish Renee, and Alexis Nova for the women's IC. Trent, Nick Sullivan, and ATJ. The Disco Fever match, which is an all-time matchup. Pain Foundation versus the British Rebellion for the tag titles, I think it was. And it was Shane Torres, Jared Dexter, and Darren Joseph in the TLC match, I think it was, for the hardcore title. Because I don't remember all that much about the match and the show itself. I think alright. I think it was an alright show. I mean, again, this pay-per-view is around if you just search up on Tiermaker, retro pay-per-views. So if you want to do your own, and then send it to me on Twitter at the CEW Network, or just post it in the Discord if you're in the Discord, then yeah, feel free. So next we move on to Down in Flames, and this one's a bit more of an interesting card, because I really don't remember all that much about it. There was the Triple Threat Tag match, which I had to scrap and change to a one-on-one, due to the game just not letting that happen. There was Braxton versus Hunter Gold in the Hell in a Cell. Elizabeth versus G and Tony Taylor. ATJ versus Nick Sullivan in the cage. Cheyenne versus Sky, I think, happened on that card as well. There was I think it was the 5 or 6 man scramble for the hardcore title and the all-day title. And then there was Mayu versus Madison. I think it was an alright show. But just because I don't think there was any sort of like massive matches that happened on that, I think I might put it in could have been better. And I honestly, I feel like this one might be a controversial one, but speaking of could have been better, I think X Factor, the first one, 2020, where we had Hunter Gold versus Braxton again. Should have saved the Hell in a Cell for X Factor if I was going to have them fight twice. Young Clan. Who did a Young Clan fight? Was that Todd and Ford? I think it was. Apologies if you can hear that. There was Nida versus Elizabeth. I'm just going to go ahead and put it in could have been better. If I can't remember all the matches off the top of my head now, or like a lot of the matches, I'm probably just going to put them in could have been better. Mania 3. Banger. I don't even need to talk about this. Sky versus Elizabeth, Braxton versus Max, Byron versus Blake, the tag team gauntlet, ATJ versus Trent, Madison versus Mayu. The list goes on and on and on. Darren versus Jared in a Nitro Rules match. And just so much. The Last Chance Saloon Battle Royals. I think, actually, we're going to put this in GOAT. GOAT tier pay-per-view, I think. Fight Forever. Honestly, it was Sullivan versus Braxton. Guy versus Melissa Berg. And alright. I think it was a solid show. It had some moments, some really good moments, but I think it could have been better overall. But I think it's in alright. Invictus, banger. That's the one. In my opinion, I think, and we'll get to it later, Kingdom of Glory and Invictus. Actually, let me just chuck Invictus at the top and go. I think that's the best show. I think if you're looking for a show to get you into CEW and then you want to watch the modern stuff, watch Invictus. Brilliant show. Braxton versus ATJ, Elizabeth, Sky, and Kyrie in a triple threat match. The show was brilliant, in my humble opinion, and I think it's one of the best ones I've done. Down in Flames, the 3 Stages of Hell match for the world title and the women's world title match put it in GOAT alone. But then does the rest of the card follow suit? You got Shane versus Tony Ford versus Darren Joseph, which was a decent match. You got Jinku versus Stanley, which was a good match. It was Cheyenne versus G. What else happened on there? Who did the Rebels fight? I think it was the Rebels versus the British Rebellion. And I think because some of the match card was a little bit kind of I think Banger is where it will go. X Factor from this year, I think it was alright. I think it's a solid show, but I don't think I could put it any higher than alright. I think there were so many other matches, so many other pay-per-views that we've done. Obviously Down in Flames, Mania 3 and Invictus that just kind of topped it. Definitely better than the previous X Factor, but I do think that it wasn't as good as I had hoped it would be. And seeing it was right next to Kingdom of Glory, I think that's also kind of what's hindered it. And it could be recency bias, but speaking of Kingdom of Glory, we're gonna have that beat out Mania 3 in GOAT. This is one of the best shows I've put on. I still think Invictus is the best pay-per-view I've done, but this was a really, really good show. Blake versus Stanley, Sky versus Mayu, Jinku versus Shane, Rock and Rave in a Fatal 4-Way ladder match, the Women's IC title in a Fatal 4-Way. Just so many great matches. We had the network title introduced there. People came back. You know, moments have been made, and it's setting course to a new era. I don't think I could put it any lower than GOAT. And I think that's it. It's a small tier list, so, you know, it's not... Hopefully this video won't be super long, and I'll be able to cut it down a bit. But, yeah, that's my tier list. Again, it's on Tier Maker if you want to have a look at it. And, you know, once again, if you want to send it to me on either Twitter or Discord, I guess I'll be leaving links to that in the description. So, as always, I've been Byron, representing the CEW Network, and I will see you all next time.